He swept the streets to clean his conscience as well. The things he'd done in the past kept him awake every night. But that morning, facing a bomb threat in downtown, he was forced to remember who he used to be, because this time, he would use his past not to kill, but to save. Before we begin this powerful story of redemption, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from, and if you believe in second chances, hit that subscribe button. Marcus Stone was the quietest sanitation worker in downtown Chicago. 45 years old, gray hair always hidden under his cap, face always looking down, hands always inside his work gloves. His eyes carried a constant weariness, not physical, but spiritual exhaustion. For 12 years, he'd followed the same route, starting at 6 a.m., cleaning all the streets from Michigan Avenue to Grant Park. Orange work uniform, garbage cart, broom. Everything was the same every day. He didn't like to talk. With his coworkers, he'd only say good morning and good evening. He always ate lunch alone, read books during breaks. The local shop owners knew him, but didn't really know him. Baker Tom would say, "Good man, quiet man." Coffee shop owner Maria would say, "Never causes trouble, does his job and leaves." But no one knew where he came from, if he had family, or what he did before this job. Every morning, he'd wake up at 5:30 a.m., drink his coffee, get ready. Before leaving home, he'd always check the mirror, not looking at his face, but at his eyes, as if reminding himself of something. On his way to work, he always took the same route. He used the bus instead of the L train because there were too many people on the train, and they looked at him. At work, he wouldn't say a word. He'd collect garbage, sweep streets, empty his cart when it got full. He was very systematic, cleaning each street in a certain order, with a certain technique. During lunch break, he'd sit in the park reading books. Mostly history books, sometimes poetry. But he never read newspapers, never watched the news. When he got home in the evening, he'd cook dinner, wouldn't turn on the TV, and go to bed early. But sleep wouldn't come. He'd stare at the ceiling for hours. Marcus's life had strange contradictions. Being a sanitation worker was very simple work, but his home had military order. Everything in its place, clean, organized. His bookshelf had books on explosives, chemistry, and security. His neighbors would be very surprised if they saw them. His hands had old burn scars. They looked like chemical burns, but no one questioned them. Sometimes he'd have nightmares at night and wake up screaming. Neighbors would hear his voice, but no one interfered. Psychologically, he lived very carefully, never asking questions, never staying anywhere too long, as if trying to become invisible. November 25th morning started like any other. It was cold. Chicago's first snow was falling. Marcus began cleaning Michigan Avenue. At 8:30 a.m., he noticed something strange. Next to the trash can by the shopping center, there was an abandoned bag. Black, medium-sized, zipper open. Normally, sanitation workers would report abandoned items to police. But when Marcus approached, something caught his attention. From inside the bag, he could see cables, metal parts, and there was a strange smell. A chemical smell. Marcus's heart raced. He recognized this smell. Marcus looked more closely at the bag. Inside were colored cables, red, blue, yellow, small electronic circuit, white powder substance, digital clock battery pack. This combination wasn't normal. Very bad thoughts crossed Marcus's mind. He looked around. In front of the shopping center, there was morning rush hour. Hundreds of people going to work. If his suspicions were correct, this would be a very bad place. Should he call the police? But what if he was wrong? What if someone had just thrown away electronic waste? But his inner voice said something else. This was a familiar combination. Marcus put the bag in his garbage cart and quickly moved away from the shopping center, but his mind was on the bag. After moving about 200 meters away, he stopped. He examined the bag again. Cables. Type used in bomb devices. White powder. Could be C4 type explosive digital clock. Timer circuit. Trigger mechanism. This wasn't suspicion. This was real. Marcus's hands began to tremble. But this wasn't fear. It was adrenaline. After 12 years, his old reflexes were returning. Bomb disposal expertise wasn't forgotten. Marcus called 911. "Hello, police. I'm a sanitation worker. I work on Michigan Avenue. I found a suspicious bag." "Sir, what do you mean by suspicious?" "It might contain a bomb." "What? How do you know?" Marcus hesitated. How would he answer this question? There are cables, explosive material, timer. Sir, are you an expert in these matters? I just got suspicious. Move away from your location. Our teams are coming. Marcus moved 300 meters away but didn't lose sight of the bag. Morning rush hour continued in front of the shopping center. Thousands of people. Police arrived 15 minutes later. First they secured the perimeter, then called the bomb squad. Marcus watched from a distance. Police were very careful approaching the bag. The bomb disposal expert arrived. They sent a robot. They took x-rays. 45 minutes later, the result came. It was a real bomb. C4 explosive. 4 pounds. Connected to a timer. Set to explode at 10 a.m. It was 9:35 a.m. Police Detective Johnson found Marcus. Sir, were you the one who called it in? Yes. This was actually a bomb. How did you know? Marcus fell silent. It was time to reveal the truth he'd hidden for 12 years. I'm experienced in these matters. What matters? Bomb disposal. The detective was surprised. Are you a bomb disposal expert? I used to be. Which organization did you work for? The detective asked. Marcus hesitated. Special operations. Which operations? Counterterrorism. Bomb disposal. Explosive ordnance specialist. When? 1998 to 2010. 12 years. The detective was taking notes. Why did you quit? Marcus never wanted to answer this question. There was an accident. People died. What kind of accident? The detective asked. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. 2010. Counterterrorism operation in Afghanistan. IED device. What happened? I was trying to dispose of it, but I miscalculated. The bomb exploded early. His voice trembled. 3 of my teammates died. I survived. Was it your fault? Yes, it was my fault. It was my... Then I quit. I didn't want to hurt anyone ever again. The detective understood. That's why you became a sanitation worker. Yes, the most harmless job. A job that doesn't put anyone at risk. But today, you saved hundreds of lives. Because now I can use it to save, not to kill. Marcus was crying now. 12 years of pain was pouring out. The news made it to the media. Headlines read, "Sanitation worker saves city." But Marcus didn't want this. He just wanted to go back to his job. His co-workers were surprised. Marcus, you were a bomb expert. Used to be. Why didn't you tell us? It stayed in the past. 3 days later, an offer came from the police department. They wanted Marcus back. We need an experienced bomb disposal expert, they said. No, Marcus said. I'm a sanitation worker now. But you haven't lost your skills. These skills kill people. This time they saved people. Marcus thought for days. Should he return to the past he'd been running from for 12 years? He talked with his therapist friend. Doctor, what should I do? Marcus, you're not guilty. That accident wasn't your fault. But it was my calculation. You've saved hundreds of lives. Honoring your 3 teammates' memory means continuing their work. Marcus made his decision a week later. He accepted the offer. Why? His coworker asked. Do you know what my teammates said before they died? What did they say? Marcus, you're really good at this. Protect people. Now you understand. Yes. Now I understand. Marcus now works both as a sanitation worker and part-time bomb disposal consultant. Both my jobs serve people, he says. In one, I clean the environment. In the other, I clean threats to lives. He trains young bomb disposal experts. This job isn't just technical, he tells them. It's about responsibility. One mistake can cost lives. Aren't you afraid? The young ones ask. I'm afraid, but I control the fear. Those who aren't afraid make mistakes. Marcus has 3 photos on his desk. Photos of his deceased teammates. They're gone now, he says, but their mission continues. Protecting people. Before every bomb disposal, he looks at the photos. Guys, I won't make a mistake this time, he says. Last month, Marcus successfully completed his 3rd bomb disposal operation. No one was harmed. After work, he continues cleaning the streets with his garbage cart. People ask why I still do sanitation work, he says, because this is my real identity. Bomb expert is my past. Sanitation worker is my reality. That night, he slept peacefully at home. For the first time in a long while, he didn't have nightmares. Because he finally understood. The pain of the past can transform into hope for the future. Sometimes to save others, you first need to save yourself. If you think this story left a deep impact on you, tell us your city in the comments. and subscribe to help ensure that stories of heroes seeking second chances like Marcus continue to be told. Sometimes the greatest heroism is making peace with the past and serving the future.